Welcome to the More Than Just Dumbbells podcast. My name's Jason Lindsay.
My name is Kitty Truex.
You are still Kitty Truex. I keep waiting for you to change your name. I'm just kidding. We've talked
when you least expect it, Jim.
Well, I know this. You're on record as saying this, but I forget. How old were you when you went? Were you a young gal when you went with Kitty?
A young buck?
Yeah.
19.
19. Yeah. Cool. Do you, when you were like 14, 13, 12, let's go when you were like 10 to...
All the way back.
Like 10-ish.
Sure.
Did you go outside and play?
I did. All the time. I was on my bike, like...
At 10 years old, were you in North Minneapolis, Northeast?
I was. Between North and Northeast, back and forth, ping pong.
And did you have neighborhood kid friends?
Yes,
so
1,000%. Neighborhood kids, they were really bad influences, too.
Oh, they were?
Yes.
In what way?
They're just bad kids. Stealing. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff. Just not drugs or anything like that, but just bad kids, bad attitudes, they just...
Do you know where any of these kids are today?
No, I don't. I definitely
Probably
do not.
doing time?
Probably, who knows?
So,
I don't want to judge them, but...
Yeah. Well, hey, you do. So this would have been the year of our Lord
96.
96. Okay.
96, 97.
So kids in northeast Minneapolis in 1996, were you... just leaving your bikes without being locked? Were you guys staying out past dark?
Yep. D, all of the above.
You weren't worried about any weird stuff happening?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, not at that time.
Yeah.
Come to think of it, I drank from the hose. Like I was still in that generation.
Yeah. I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 73, so
sure.
I don't say 70s because I was 7 in 1980.
Right.
I don't remember a lot of my 5, 6, 7 year, but those 10 years I was 80. It was 80s kid.
Yeah.
But it was 1983 when I was 10, and the town had 2,000 people.
Yep. Blooming
and
Prairie.
No stoplight and just a grid like 1 square mile, not even. And so
that was your town.
Nobody cared.
Yeah.
They still don't lock their doors down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Why am I asking this question?
Well, I'm glad that you actually brought that up because, I want to actually segue into our topic is inner child.
Yeah.
We're so disconnected from our inner child, or how the hell do we have more fun?
Yeah.
Right? That's really a topic that I think deserves to be talked about. Yeah. And just a couple of tips, hey, what are things to have instant gratification when it comes to fun? Or things to kind of ramp up that inner child excitement and vibrance for life again.
Are you going to suggest that adults get together and play hide and seek, or what?
Kick the can.
Kick the can.
Not hide and seek. I played kick the can back in the day. Neighborhood kick the can.
I've heard.
Ghost in the graveyard. That kind of stuff.
Okay. What is kick the can?
Literally, there's a can.
Yeah.
And there's someone my dad would always be the one who was kind of defending the can.
Wait, so now your dad's involved in this?
So my dad's a big kid. He's like 11 on the inside of his brain. So he's the big kid, like putting together all of these things, and he's the defender of the can.
Okay.
So if you get tagged, or this is how we play it, if you get tagged, then you go into timeout. You have to run back around. But if you kick the can, then you win.
So the object is to kick the can without getting tagged or something. Okay, yeah.
That's what we did.
I mean, all kids' games are a variation of kind of the same one, right? I mean, kind of.
Reach the goal.
You try not to get tagged or hit or knocked on your ass, whatever. We played a lot of hide and seek at dark.
Okay. Sure.
Think of summertime.
That's kind of Ghost in the Graveyard.
Think about how late we were out till.
Yeah.
Because 10, it wasn't dark until 9.
Yeah,
maybe 9, depending on time. July, maybe 15th was 10 or 9:45. But they let us do this back then, I guess. I don't know. But we did play some. We called them night games.
Night games, yep, absolutely.
And we just made up shit, right?
Yep.
I guess, and I don't remember the
flashlight tag.
I guess
that kind of stuff.
And then this was a bad suggestion to my nephew, because he was asking me. Goes back a couple of years now, but he's often especially since he got a cell phone at age 10, he's 14 now, so 10, 11. So I've had 3 or 4 years of texting this kid.
Sure.
So he's a question kid. A lot of kids are, but he's really, really a question kid.
Good for him.
And he's like, did you play any games and that kind of thing, right? And he's a golfer, So
Attaboy.
I'm like, well, we played Guinness. He's like, what's that? I'm like, well, it's golf and tennis. You take a tennis ball and a golf club and you hit it around town.
Oh, Christ.
And now, you said you had bad kids.
Yes.
These kids I was with, and I think this has a lot to do with the size of the town.
Okay.
None of these kids got in trouble. Nobody's in jail. In fact, one's a dentist now. The other one's owns a brewery. But we were not. We were what you might call deviant, or at least I was along. Yeah, I was along for the ride. Deviant
guilty by association.
Deviant for a small town. We'd take a golf club, like a 3-wood, and a tennis ball, and just beat it around town.
I actually probably think that made you a better golfer.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not.
Coordination.
I mean, my parents certainly didn't want to know we did this. So when I told him, I go, yeah, you might want to run this by your parents because they're going to probably say no. But another thing we did a lot of, which is probably common, is we just played sports.
Okay, yeah. That's
tackle football. You'd never see that now, right?
I mean, we never played that.
I mean, you were. When I say tackle, I mean you weren't
like smear.
Oh, you
smear
were
tackle.
You were on the ground, and I probably have CTE. Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
all right.
Yeah. Anyway, so
all right.
So what we're saying in this podcast is we think that there's too many adults out there there's many adults out there that would benefit from maybe having some more play,
reactivating their inner child vibes.
Okay.
Yes, because we're disconnected from what we used to enjoy doing when we were a kid. Like when you were carefree and staying out till 10 p.m. and not having a responsibility per se. You were just kind of in the moment and present to being a kid.
And it's also, aren't we trying to make suggestions that don't involve going to the bar and getting
Correct.
A martini?
1,000%.
Or how about what bros like maybe maybe like me and your husband might do, which is let's get the 6-pack of beer in the golf cart, and that's now we think we're kids. Okay, that's fine, but you're still not
kids
playing.
Kids don't do that.
Kids don't do that.
Kids
there you
don't
go.
do that, man.
Yeah.
So I want you to actually think back, and feel free if you're listening to do this as well. I want you to kind of visualize the things that you used to do as a kid that you would lose track of time. Do you remember anything like that you would do?
Yeah, playing that football.
Sure. Okay, so tackle football.
Pretty much any of those games, any of those night games, right?
Night games. Sure. So being in a group setting, playing a semi-competitive, friendly
Going
game.
to the swimming pool.
Okay, swimming pool.
The only time
do you swim now?
No.
Okay.
The only time you worried about the pool was because they took a break and they'd tell you to get out of the pool for 10 minutes,
Yep.
But this pool in my hometown is
still there?
Is a natural spring pool. It's basically a big old pond. It's one of the cool.
Sweet.
No, it's really cool. The only downside is they got rid of the high board.
Okay. Oh,
as they did everywhere.
Yeah.
But they have the medium board there, which is probably maybe 10 feet off the water.
Okay.
And kids are there. My nephews are there, and they've asked me to come. And why
wouldn't you do?
Well, I mean, I don't live there. Number one.
Oh yeah, I get
that. But if I shouldn't be like embarrassed or weirded out. I put on the swim trunks. I go jump around. I mean, because I'm not the only adult that would be doing this. But when I do drive past that pool, and I am down there sometimes, I don't see any adults.
Well, be a trailblazer, Jay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm not allowed.
No, of course. Yeah. And I imagine that your inner child would actually activate with you being in the same place, doing the same thing that you did then. You might feel the same euphoria and ecstatic nature that you did as a child.
And I'll 100% do it sober. I'm not going to be,
Well, please, that would be rad here. We're not trying to numb before we go and have ecstatic states of experience.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Even if they sold beer there, I promise. Yeah, I promise you I won't have like a beer and do it. But
thank you.
How about this? I have done something that would be considered inner child play.
Go ahead.
And these are all because of my nephews, obviously.
Awesome.
The water park. Every time they were kids, they're 14, 10, and 9 now or something like that. But let's go back 5 years. Their parents were taking them to one of the indoor water parks, Mall of America, all the time.
Yeah, okay.
And Uncle Jason was showing up every single time.
Yeah.
And Mom and Dad weren't doing a whole lot on the slides.
Uncle Jason was the dude.
I was.
The dude.
I've been on a water slide a lot in the last few years.
And do you remember what that brought to you? Or
it was awesome.
Right?
Well, I mean, it's not hard for me to act like a kid.
Understood, but there's a lot of adults that when you're disconnected from your inner child, you don't want to look stupid. You don't want to be embarrassed. They're not going to do that. They're going to make fun of me, which I know that's not your type of personality, but there are a lot of those personalities out there. And I kind of call hey, challenge yourself to just get uncomfortable or plug back into your kid because it's freaking worth it. Yeah. So worth it.
See, now my thing back to the swimming pool and that medium, there's a platform where the kids hang out.
Oh.
I wasn't but here, my mind doesn't go to being embarrassed or I feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I don't put up with smart ass kids. I mean, so I'm going to be, that's what I have to worry about.
Sure.
Is some kid's going to go, dude, how old are you or something? You know,
something, and you're going to take it wrong.
I will
and you're
knock
just
him
gonna,
on his right.
I'll be like, platform.
I'll push him right off the.
Oh, snarf.
Yeah.
When was the last time you took yourself on a spontaneous, random date?
What?
Like,
what does that mean?
And well, check it out. I'm glad you asked.
Check it out.
When have you kind of said, I'm going to have an hour where you just kind of follow your own inner compass, or you just kind of do what feels good in the moment, or I'm craving this at a restaurant, or wow, I want to go to a library and check out a book, or I'm going to go hit some range balls? Or when's the last time that you intentionally just went on a date doing something that you enjoy doing that has, that, does that make sense?
Yeah. And hey, this is probably why I'm glad we chose it.
Yeah.
I do this stuff all the time.
Okay. Well,
so I go to a movie by myself all the time, get the
Sweet.
popcorn and the candy. I sneak the candy in and sit in the back row and watch a movie by myself. Yeah. I go to the driving range I do a lot of things by myself. I walk
Did you know
around.
The same truck that drops off the candy for the movie theater also drops it off to the dollar store? Same truck.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So always sneak your candy in.
I mean, I feel kind of bad because,
deviant.
That's a profit center for them. But it's like
Oh, that popcorn though.
That'd be like walking into a bar and it's $26 for a beer,
Yeah, that's inflation.
Really?
You absolutely nailed it. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Anyway, just wanted to
I was about to say like $12 for a beer, but that's what it costs at the stadium. No, so I do some of that stuff. I've walked around uptown without drinking and just went into the books.
Just chill out.
Actually, I missed this one, and this isn't necessarily a kid thing. It'd be more of an adult version.
Okay.
But they closed all the bookstores. All the Majors and Quinn is still open, but
bookstore.
Booksmart, and then Booksmart was the main one on Hennepin.
Yep.
I would always walk down there and hang around.
Just being in the smell of books.
Yeah.
That activates my inner child.
Yeah.
Just being in a library, being in a bookstore. Yeah. So that's something that I would do on mine as well.
Yeah.
Going to get your favorite meal, go get some tacos, go get some ice cream. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money, but it's just you intentionally being present to yourself and the things that you enjoy to bring yourself into a state of experiencing euphoria. Yeah. Or how about body movement, right? Like you're walking uptown. Kind of integrating that good feeling into your physical body and moving it as well.
So what about this? What about this idea? This will not catch on.
No? Ketchup mustard?
But if it did, I'm going to take credit for it. I won't make any money off it.
You hear it all. Hear it all a year.
But one of the things I love about kids, especially under the age of 10, is they don't walk anywhere. So they run everywhere, right? So just run where you're going. You know what I mean? You'll see me. I don't do this, but I'm gonna start doing this. I'm through uptown and I'm going to the cigar shop.
Skip there.
There we go. Skip because I could last longer.
I've skipped.
Yeah.
And it absolutely. I mean, if you like that, just. It is.
But I mean,
feels silly, but it's worth it.
But imagine if we'd feel self-conscious running to the corner store.
For sure.
But the kids have no problem with that. They don't care.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that's kind of the space of our brain we're trying to access, where the judgment and the societal normal, whatever that is, isn't coming into play because we get that childishness or that childish wonder beaten out of us.
Yeah.
And to try to access that again, that's a muscle that you have to keep going back
Act
to.
like a grown-up. Why?
Yeah. What's the fun in that?
Yeah.
Kids are so apt to want to grow up. It's no, man. Because when you're a grown-up, you're going to want to act like this childish badassery again. So there's that. I wanted to get back into playing, somehow moving your body, right? Like your night games. That was you running and kicking, hitting a golf ball. Yeah. Trying to randomly bring these good feelings into your body, doing something active to integrate it.
Last winter, I bought hockey skates. I go to a pond and I skate now.
Did you dig it?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing would be to get crafty. Maybe do something with your hands. Like I said, integrate it into your body. Do you craft anything? Do you paint? Do you do any woodworking? Anything like that? So I actually last year, I get sad really bad.
I do
seasonal
dishes.
Affective disorder super badly. And I needed something to do with my hands to keep me high and vibrant. So I actually started making jewelry. And now it's a part of something that I do, and people order them from me, commission them from me. It's incredible.
To regular cottage industry. It's a side hustle. I dig it.
Little kitchen witching. That's what it is. So anyway, anything like that you can do that's creative that actually, here's another thing. Is there anything that you do really, really well, but you never learned how to do it? Or it comes effortless? Like you were never trained, you were never taught, You just innately knew how to do it.
I don't think so.
And that's something to think of, because that's our sweet spot.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be in a career or whether it be something that we really enjoy. Think about something you do really, really well that you never learned how to do.
Yeah. No, I can't think of anything.
And we can come back to that.
Give me an example of.
We can come back. Like, for example, I never learned how to sing. It's just something I did when I was a kid and I kept doing it. I obviously went to training from that, but it's something that I have always known how to do. Or dancing, tap dancing. I've just always known how to do that.
Really? No. Nothing.
Nothing comes to you?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just trying to
say. I won't stop trying to think of something.
Sure. Or cooking. I never learned how to cook. I just knew how to do it.
No, I learned on my own.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you learned, which is something that you put effort into the accumulation of knowledge towards. Yeah. I'm talking about something that innately you've known from young.
No.
All right. Well, we can bring that back up. But if you're listening, just think about something like that, because that is a good sweet spot to access your inner child as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
In Minnesota in the winter, go do a Clark W. Griswold and go sledding.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's hills
on a cardboard box.
Yeah, or whatever.
That's my favorite.
Little old toboggan.
Whatever.
And then in the summer, I can't highly recommend, and I'm hoping most people do this, probably with their kids. But even if you don't have, I don't have kids. I've went by myself as an adult on a date to Valley Fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't suck.
I remember
an amusement park.
Remember a gal named Jen. She might be listening. I'm like, hey, we went on a couple dates. She got married to somebody else. But I'm like, hey, 5:00 Tuesday, Valley Fair, meet me there. She's like, okay. And so, because then it's cheaper and we have 5 to 9 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twilight hours.
Yeah. Running around like kids.
Can I tell you a quick story about Valley Fair?
No.
I was there on a date.
Yeah.
This guy took me on the Looping Starship, which is the big pirate ship.
Yep.
I still have trauma from my dad and I going on that when I was young. He talked me into it, even though I told him numerous times I don't want to do it. And while we're at the very top, he looks over to me and asks me to be his girlfriend. I remember that as one of the most traumatic
experiences. How old were you?
I was 22, 23.
How old was this guy?
I don't know. Too old. But it was not at all romantic.
No.
And it was not at all cool.
No.
And I left right after that. I left him at Valley Fair. Because I couldn't even do it.
You didn't want to be his girlfriend?
No, obviously not.
Yeah. Well,
you shame talk me into going on a ride that I don't want to go on, and then ask me to be your girlfriend on top. It was just ridiculously weird.
Yeah. A similar story. Weird. Similar story. A girl that I was actually dating, like seriously dating.
Yeah.
We started dating like January, this is summer, so months in, Valley Fair. She took a day off. I took it.
Awesome.
She got sick.
Oh.
We had to call her quits. We got there at 10, 11. We had to call her quits at 2. Just drove her home.
Like nauseous sick?
Yeah.
Man, that happens.
I know.
That happens.
And I don't do a lot of weird, I like roller coasters.
Spinny guy?
Anyway.
Yeah, I understand.
Hey, before we get too late in this, and you might have...
You got a my story?
Well, no, I've got that. But
Well, I was all excited.
I was looking at an article because I wanted to see what some of the experts said about this topic.
Sure.
And... I mean, they've got some obvious stuff. Set a goal of playing more. Decide what fun means to you. We kind of touched on some of these. Set a fun minimum. Create a play drawer. Combine fun with other activities.
Play drawer? Huh.
Like
crayons and shit?
Well, so here's what. Let's elaborate. Create a play drawer. A while back, the book Simple Abundance. I've never heard of it. A day book of comfort and joy by Sarah Van Breitnach. Spent several months on the New York Times bestseller list. One of the things that she recommends in her book is to create a comfort drawer to stockpile small indulgences for those nights when you feel as if you'd like to pull the covers over your head and never come out. It should include items to pamper yourself. I don't know.
That's nah. I mean, cool. Like pamper yourself drawer, awesome. I would go more in the realm of what would bring or breathe new breath into something you already do. Maybe like take a new path on your way to work, or walk to a new park, or something along those lines, where you're looking at it from the view of a new beginning and like that childlike wonder again. Yeah. How can you bring newness into your life immediately?
Yeah, I agree. But I guess the reason I wanted to, it was the last one of the top 10, ways to have more fun.
A pamper comfort drawer. Like, is she talking like chocolates?
It says hang out with a kid.
Heck yeah.
Little kids innately know how to play and have fun. When I need to have more fun, visit my nephews. I mean,
how about pets? Pets
that's
too.
not in here, but sure. But if so, here's the deal: get a dog. that forces you to get outside and run around.
Touché.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if you're just throwing the Frisbee, at least you're moving. And then, become a big brother or sister if you don't have nephews. Because
volunteer, that's on here. Volunteer.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Why wouldn't you? They immediately bring you to a childlike, ecstatic state. Like, let's go do something cool, little bro, little sis. Yeah. And also, another thing about being activating your inner child, like, you have to be open to it. I mean, let's just think about that. You have to be open to finding the positive and the fun and having priorities of experiences that actually fulfill you in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think the whole point of this is, hey, I think everybody could benefit from not being so adult stuffy and stressed out about bills and careers and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, think about kids. They're not stressed about that stuff. And I know it's difficult to forget about all that.
And I think part of the reason is kids are too young, naive. I'm not going to say stupid because that's unfair, to know that this ends someday.
Exactly.
So they're just living in the now without thinking about it. Adults are, it's like, you could just, come on.
They're either living in the past or living in the future.
There you go, yeah.
And that's on the spectrum of depression and anxiety. So when you call back your inner child again, when you activate and get reconnected with that inner child, it actually is a muscle that helps you to become more positive, have a better outlook, and a more badass attitude.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I'm going to be brainstorming for different things I can do. I'm going to Belize here in a few days. 10 days in the tropical sun.
Hey, that's an inner child dream of mine.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to do kid stuff.
Sweet.
Or, I don't know, whatever kids would do down there.
Pick up shells and play with crabs and all that stuff.
I don't want to come back with a disease.
No, don't do that.
All right. What?
Do you have a my story that you're going to share with us?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
If you have a benefit or anything awesome that has happened with you, for you, to you because of your use of Power Blocks or any product that Power Block makes, let us know by shooting us a story at mystory@powerblock.com.
That is the email address. I have been a Power Block user for over 25 years. I still have my original set, but have since added another set.
Dig it.
Through 4 different houses in 3 different cities, and through outside workouts in my driveway to using them in SUV tent camping in the woods, those blocks have been there. I don't think in the past 20 years I have went more than a few days without picking up my Power Blocks. My 2 sons beat the heck out of them when they were younger, and here they are still going strong. Jim, just outside Pittsburgh.
Well, thanks, Jim.
Yeah. I mean,
James.
No, the Ellen DeGeneres joke.
No, do tell.
She calls the Jim James because she's not that familiar with it.
Got it. Because she's not that familiar. That's funny. That's a good one, Ellen. Nice job.
So
we'd like to have you on our podcast.
Would we?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'd first like to see if she really is a pain in the ass to work for.
We'll have to have her in the podcast. No.
Yeah. She survived cancel culture. Somehow,
well,
so it's possible, right?
It is possible.
That wasn't she deep down a hole? She's still on. The show's still on, right?
The show's still on. I would say that she's really in touch with her inner child, and helps others to get in touch with their inner child as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to see someone kind of live it out, it would be Ellen DeGeneres.
Go Ellen. So yes, inner child. Be more playful. Have more fun.
And be open to it.
Stop taking shit too seriously.
There you go. Yep. Stress relief at its best. Flex that muscle, and we'll see you next week. Is there anything else that you want to throw down, Jason?
No, share us out there, review us. Hey, what I'd really like you to do,
tell them,
if you want to be my best friend or BFF. A friend, is go to Apple Music, or was it Apple Podcasts?
Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I believe now. You
can review anywhere, but Apple's the one we really like to review, is because we already got momentum. We got like 15, 16 or something like that. It. But go there and give us 5 stars. Well, do what you want to do, but we'd love 5 stars, and then hey, we think it's a great podcast. Feedback, positive, negative, indifferent, whatever.
Thank you. Thanks for subscribing, supporting, sharing. Thanks for being a part of the squad, and go check out powerblock.com for the world's best dumbbell.
Peace out.